Now I'm going to give you 5 reasons why this is the best time to start making content. I've written these down. I got notes right here because it's important. Because right now, again, if you're on the fence, there's a million reasons not to start doing this, right? There's a million. You've got so many other things. I know you've got so many other things to do. It's not like you're just sitting around, scrolling on Instagram, TikTok, or LinkedIn for a couple hours a day, or are you? Probably. Like, look at your screen time, right? Well, so when you say you don't have time, you do have time. But I'm going to give you those 5 concrete reasons of why you should start making content right now. And number 1, and this is the best one, is the algorithm, what I call the algorithm revolution. Okay. Back when social media got started, when it really took off, when things really started to explode, when I'll say 2010 to 15 to 20, all of the big platforms, and I'll just go ahead and use Instagram as an example, because Instagram kind of took over for Facebook. And Facebook kind of became the old person's, in air quotes, social media platform for a while. But they were always social based. And what that meant was you would need followers, and your followers would see your content. Okay. So if you had 100 followers, then 100 people would see your content, right? This isn't rocket science. But that has all changed in the last couple years, really. And it started, YouTube has always been this way. YouTube has always had an interest-based algorithm, but YouTube's a little different than traditional social media platforms. So when TikTok came on the scene and just exploded in, 2019, 2020, 2021, COVID really expedited that. I feel like when people were at home a lot. But the way TikTok's algorithm worked was, it didn't matter if you had 5 million followers or if you had 500 followers. If you were making content, if you made a video and people were engaging with it, that video had a potential to go viral. And so that has opened the door now, where since TikTok just took off, all the other platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn a little bit, they've all followed suit in changing their algorithms to be interest-based. So now it doesn't even matter. As a matter of fact, you're almost better off if you had 10,000 followers on Instagram. A lot of those people have checked out. What I mean checked out is they're probably not engaging with your content anymore. And since they're not engaging with your content, it's hurting you. Whereas if you're new, you've got a better shot at people actually seeing your content now, because you've got a smaller pool of people that are getting tested. And those people, if they watch your video for 10 seconds or 3 seconds or whatever, then the video goes to another 10 people, another 100 people, another 1,000 people, blah, blah, blah. So that's how this is. The interest-based algorithm means that this is a phenomenal time for you to start putting content out there. Because if you're putting out content, you're putting in the time, and especially you don't want to hit too early. I've had that happen with a client, and I'll tell that story on a different day. But you don't want to hit too early, because then if you're not ready for a viral video, you can't capitalize on it properly. I'll leave it at that. So that's the first reason to start creating content right now, is the algorithm revolution. Okay. The second reason is that no one is going to care or watch you at first. Okay. And I've had clients who have had, this has been a mental roadblock for clients in the past, where they're worried about their friends and family looking at this content and being like, what is he doing? What is she doing? They don't what are you doing? Let me tell you this. I used to tell people this, and this, again, I go back to the music thing because I spent so many years doing it. But I always told people, look, your friends and family are never going to be your fans. Okay. They're never going to be your fans because they know you on a different level. They don't know you as an expert in the field of plumbing, or an expert in the field of law. They know you as dad, or they know you as the brother, or they know you as your college roommate. So they don't see you the same way. They'll never see you that way. So again, it's kind of like the age thing. You've just got to get over it. And if your friends and family are going to roll their eyes and be like, I can't believe she's saying this. I can't believe he's doing this. He's just I know he's like, yeah, most likely, I'm an idiot. You're probably an idiot in some regards too. And the people that know you in your personal life, they know you're an idiot. And that doesn't mean that you're not smart, but they know all of the stupid things you've done in your life. So you're not making content for them. So don't worry about them. Unfortunately, if you've got people that are going to, that are in your life that aren't going to support what you're doing, that's a different topic again for a different day. But you can't focus on those people. So what you need to focus on is the fact that when you start doing this stuff, nobody is going to watch you at first. That is incredibly empowering. Okay. So you start making videos, you start putting out a podcast, you start writing blog posts. The people that see it are going to see it, but it's going to be a very small amount of people. So what's the collateral damage to you? Like, what's there to lose? Absolutely nothing. Okay. The third reason to start making content right now is that it has never, ever been easier to create and distribute content. Okay. Like the platforms out there, the phones, the technology is so incredibly advanced and it's so easily accessible that you have zero excuse. Okay. You can't sit there and say, well, I'm not a video editor. Okay. But my 5-year-old nephew can edit videos now. So you don't need to be a video editor. You don't need to be Martin Scorsese, right? You don't need to go, you're not taking this video to Sundance, right? So you can start to learn. Like you can learn. It's not that hard. They have these companies, it is in their vested interest that they make this stuff so simple that everyone can use it. And that's what they're doing. So while if you are into video, which is even better, like if you have a good time doing it, if you like doing video editing and audio production, then that's just a bonus, right? Like I enjoy doing the stuff that I'm doing. So I love doing it. Now it's just, I got to start sitting down and actually doing it for myself as opposed to doing it for other people. But you can't use the excuse like, oh, I'm not an audio engineer. Well, you don't need to be. You don't need to be anymore. There's a million different platforms out there and you can learn everything you need to learn on YouTube from start to finish about anything that you want to do content creation. So that's another great reason. The fourth great reason to start creating content right now is that your competitors are not going to do this. They're not, because they haven't had to yet, right? So what they're going to do is they're going to do the bare minimum, just like what you've been doing, which is the bare minimum, because it hasn't impacted you. It hasn't hit a pain point yet for you. So why not be the girl, the guy, the person, the expert in that field? Because what your competition can't do is make up for lost time. So if you start a year ahead of them, you're always going to be a year ahead of them in the content game. The idea of them catching you and lapping you, it's almost impossible because there is no fast track to this stuff, which is why I go back and say, you got to budget a year at least to get started doing this. It's not simple, and it's not, people aren't going to call you up and be like, oh, hey, I saw your video, let's do business. Like, it's not going to happen like that. And if it does, great, but you can't plan on that, right? So the fourth reason for you to start doing content right now is that your competition is not going to do this. The fifth and final reason for you to start creating content right now is that stumbled over my words here. The fifth and final reason for you to start creating content right now is that your competitors are doing this. And now you got to get your ass in the game. So whether your competition's not doing it or whether they are doing it, you need to be doing it too. Because if your competitors are doing it, then the odds of them showing up when other people are looking for them, whether it be on Instagram, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on TikTok, on Google, it doesn't matter. There's a million places. Think about how you research the stuff that you buy. It doesn't matter if you're talking about buying a stroller or if you're looking for a plumber, right? You search the same way. You're not turning on the TV hoping you see a commercial for the exact thing that you need. You're getting on your phone, you're getting on your iPad, you're getting on your computer, and you're doing the research. So those are 5 great reasons to get started doing content right now.